Welcome! NOAA has just released its August of 2023 Global Climate Report, and this video is a summary of that report. August of 2023 was the hottest August on record, so let's see why. Quick summary of the main results. As I said, August was the hottest August on record, and therefore one of the hottest months on record. Both land and ocean temperatures set new record highs. That's over a period of a minimum of 174 years, probably much longer. The mid-troposphere was at its hottest ever for August. Global sea ice extent was the smallest on record. El Nino is now established and likely to last through until at least April of 2024. The sun is very active, still not yet at solar maximum, and furthermore, we are getting closer to the sun as months go by, so we're getting more energy from the sun, which is not helping the situation much. Carbon dioxide levels reach a new record high. Every month now is a new record high for carbon dioxide, unfortunately. Let's see what the situation is continent by continent. North America had its hottest August, as did South America. Europe was the second hottest August on record. Africa its hottest. Asia its hottest. And Oceania second hottest. Equally, the Arctic was the hottest it's ever been. The ocean temperatures at their highest level again. Global temperatures continue to rise, as you can see from this plot here, but the striking thing is this last month is so much higher than the previous record, nearly 0.3 degrees centigrade higher than the previous record. That's an amazing difference. The rate of warming generally has been 0.19 degrees centigrade per decade, so this is more than a decade's worth of warming in a month. This is how the temperatures are distributed around the globe. Record cold is shown by dark blue, and for once we actually do have a few pixels that are of that color down in the northern part of Antarctica. But most of the pixels are either record warmest or much warmer than average. This is why August was a record for the month. There's hardly anywhere on the main part of the planet that has below the average temperatures. You should also notice there's a large swathe of warm water off the western coast of South America. That is El Nino. The situation isn't much better when you look at the lower atmosphere. This is the lower troposphere, the area just above the surface, about the first 4 kilometers of the atmosphere. And you can see over the last 50 years or so, there's been a steady increase. But this last couple of months have been right up there as among the hottest on record. In fact, this was the second hottest temperature ever recorded by this instrument. Now there are two groups. There's the RSS group, which has a warming rate of about 0.16 degrees centigrade per decade. The University of Alabama Huntsville has a much lower rate. It has 0.12 degrees centigrade per decade for oceans, 0.18 degrees centigrade for land, and that makes the global average about 0.14 degrees centigrade per decade. So they're similar, but not quite identical results. And they are using the same data, but different analysis techniques. Let's take a look at global sea ice. That set a new record low. That's the 4th month in a row it did so. The Arctic was about the 8th lowest total area of sea ice. The Antarctic was the lowest, and that also was the 4th month in a row that it set a new record low. As I said in the introduction, El Nino is well established and is beginning to grow. You can see how far it's now stretching across the Pacific Ocean and is projected to go further and further as time goes by. We are going to have an El Nino for many months to come. Let's take a look at what the projections show. These are the probability forecasts. 100% probability for this month, of course, because we're well into it, but it remains above 95% for several months, and then still it is a very high probability in April of next year. There's an increasing chance of ENSO neutral conditions by that time, but it's at the moment very small, less than a quarter of the chance of an El Nino continuing. But presumably as the summer comes, that probability will go up. Here's something that people generally don't mention, is that we are at a certain distance from the sun, just over 1 astronomical unit at the moment, and we are approaching the sun towards perihelion in early January. Perihelion is the closest approach to the sun at about 0.983 astronomical units. At aphelion, the furthest distance from the sun, which occurs in July, we're over 1.017 astronomical units. This difference makes about a total of 7% difference in the amount of energy we get. Between now and January, we're going to be getting about 5% more energy from the sun. So that's going to exacerbate any heating effects that we have, though only fractionally. And the other slight aspect of this whole thing that's worrying is that solar cycle 25 is still rising. So it's still getting more active, which will add to this differential in energy that we're seeing. In fact, the early next year may well be where solar maximum occurs. Now, everybody's favorite topic, the carbon dioxide levels, again, set a new record. Every month now is a record. You can see the annual variability, which is the earth breathing, the plants taking in carbon dioxide and then releasing it as they rot away during the winter months. But as I say, this was a record high at 419.68 parts per million for August of 2023. That's an increase of 2.5 parts per million over last year. Now that's slightly lower than the increase for July, but nonetheless it's still quite a large increase. I was intending to make a complete list of climate disasters for August of 2023, but I was defeated by the pure numbers of them. We had the firestorm in Hawaii that killed several thousand people. Hurricane Idalia hit Florida. That's the first time that part of Florida had been hit for several decades. There was a severe storm in Minnesota that was mainly hail. Look at the size of some of those hailstones. We had severe weather in the southeast with tornado outbreaks. There's the Canadian wildfires. They're still going on and producing a lot of pollution and also carbon dioxide. Hurricane Hillary hit California for the first time in 84 years. And this was just North America. I did not have the time nor the space to do the rest of the world. I'll try to do that next time. So what can we conclude from all of this? The world is getting warmer and very quickly. That pace is likely to accelerate over the next 6 months with El Nino, increasing greenhouse gases, and solar heating. Sea ice is receding from both polar regions now, lowering the Earth's albedo, which is only going to accelerate the heating process. Weather and climate are likely to get worse, and we expect more and costlier weather disasters in the coming months. So thank you for watching. Be prepared for any climate emergencies and stay safe. Until next time, goodbye.